He's faster than a speeding bullet, but can this new Superman outrun the legacy of those who came before him? James Gunn just dropped his first big swing in rebooting the DC Universe, and we're breaking down every detail, from casting choices to Kryptonian controversy. Is this the hopeful hero we needed, or just another cape lost in the crowd? Let's talk about it today on Fundamentals. So, it is here. We have watched it.
Yeah.
Superman.
Yes. Just so you guys know, we are going to spoil it if you weren't aware of that when we talked about for the first little intro. So if you haven't watched it yet, or if you don't care about spoilers, go ahead. Like, you know, you know, you know.
Yeah. Just be prepared if you stay on.
Yeah. Yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah. Uh yeah. So what are your initial thoughts? Like overall, overarching, how did you like it on a scale of like 1 to 5, let's say? Like what is
Yeah,
your
let's do our numbers at the end.
Okay.
So we'll,
Okay.
we'll make everybody wait till we scale it at the end because we're going to pros and cons just like we do about everything.
Mhm.
But overall, just like a quick, just I've seen it twice, and I will say watching it a second time was a good thing for me.
Okay.
It because it allowed
Did you
me.
catch more?
I caught more, but then also I wasn't just because like when you see one, and we've been pretty excited about this, and like the I've been pretty excited about this. You know, we have been hopeful though, right? We have been hopeful for the
Yeah.
DC, and like you have that initial like, oh my god, it's something new, you know. And so like it's hard to catch everything the first time, but then also
Mm.
you've had time to process what you did see the first time, and then kind of go into it and try to process a little bit on a deeper level. Um, I like it. I think it's good. I don't think it's an amazing masterpiece like some people are overpraising it, but it's definitely not a bad movie. It
Yeah.
makes me hopeful and excited to see this new DCU. Um, I
Yes.
I will say I actually like David Corenswet better than Henry Cavill as Superman.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think his Superman versus Clark Kent like persona things that he did was a lot better. I
Hmm.
think that he was able to really play into the role, and I am also on the same page as you that I thought it was good. I didn't think it was like fantastic. It wasn't like um amazing, but it was better than I was
Then what?
expecting.
Yes.
And I mean, I haven't really seen any really hype about it. Um but I know that there are like opposite ends of the spectrum, and I'm kind of like more towards I'm not like neutral about it. I'm more happy
Yeah.
than
Oh
not.
yeah. 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 What's crazy is like what I'm seeing online is, and my news feed is nothing but this. I swear, is either people just saying it's the best comic book movie, superhero movie they've ever seen, and then I have people here just crapping on it. That think
Yeah.
it's awful and it's nothing compared to Henry Cavill's Superman. I will say, like I went into this thinking that it was going to be decent. I did not expect to choose him over Henry Cavill. I will say that.
Okay.
I even so in between me watching the second one, I even went back through and watched Man of Steel with Henry Cavill in it, and
Mm.
then I started watching part of Batman vs Superman. But
Ooh.
oh yeah, yeah, that was rough. But Man of Steel was the main thing I started watching.
Mhm.
And I like this actually this DC universe that he's created.
Yeah.
I like this way better than Snyder's. I
I
like
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like, I feel the same way. I feel like there's like not Marvel hints, but like because James Gunn came from like Guardians of the Galaxy is really
right,
where a lot of us
right,
know him from. I feel like kind of ties kind of still to that where you can see
yeah,
that he kind of has like that playful, whimsical kind of thing about it. And he has, those cameos that we
yeah,
expect to see in Marvel and end credit scenes. There's two, right?
right.
And it makes you like, okay, like I can feel that, but then there's also like Supergirl that I was like,
Yeah,
oh, okay, well, I'm not gonna be like absolutely shitting on that, but I am worried, but excited because I liked Creature Commandos and that was him, and
Right.
now I'm also liking Superman, so I'm cautiously still optimistic. I'm still
Yeah.
cautiously optimistic. I can't say that I'm like gung ho like I am about Marvel. So,
Yeah, yeah. It's still. I will say this: it doesn't have me. And this is the first one, right? We're just
mm,
starting to build, but it definitely has me nowhere near the excitement as Marvel.
mm,
I will say, like, the first time I watched, it, I'm like, "Geez, this feels like a very Guardians esque feel." But then I got to thinking, I'm like, "No, that's actually James Gunn feel, right?"
yeah,
Because the Guardians isn't Marvel, but, like, that's it you can definitely James Gunn has a very style that he likes, the
yeah,
way he
distinctive,
shoots the
yeah,
fights, yeah. Because 'cause I'm on so, like, one thing when, Mr. Terrific and Lois had that bubble around them, he was fighting them, immediately, all I
bruh.
can think of was Yondu and his whistle with the red arrow, and
Mm,
because it reminded me so much of that, and then the way it twisted and turned and watched really reminded me of the Guardians 3 when they're in that hallway fight, but then I'm like, all right, you have to get out of that. This feels like Guardians. It's James Gunn's. He put that's his style. That's what he takes. So like it definitely has very much a James Gunn feel. I am interested to see the other DC project that James Gunn is not directing and writing, and to see how well they tie in and complement each other because they're not going to all have that feel, which is
yeah.
which can
The first
happen
one's
because
gonna be Clayface, right?
yeah, which can
Yes.
happen because we've seen in Marvel, James Gunn had his own feel with Guardians, but it still tied in well when it needed to.
Mm.
I will say I like the visuals of this.
I love the use of colors. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I like how it feels like it was something pulled straight from the comic pages and on screen. It's great. I really feel like the Snyderverse was too dark, and the way they filmed it, I mean, everything was so heavily shadowed.
Mm,
I mean, definitely too much for my opinion. But
mhm.
yeah, Lex, Nicholas Hoult, I thought did a really good job. I will
He
say,
made that movie for me. He absolutely made
yeah,
that movie for me.
so,
Yeah,
so,
except for
so
the one part,
uh huh,
and I'm sure we're gonna talk about the one part that we both
yeah.
are like, "Ooh," stuck up on, but, yeah,
So I
sorry, go
will
ahead.
say, no, you're good. So I will still say to date, Michael Rosenbaum is my favorite Lex Luthor still.
Mm, m'kay.
But I will say Nicholas Hoult is now my second.
Mm,
There's a slight because like the way Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor is not really a way we've seen in animation, comics, or anything. It was super campy, but I love just because it's not one we've ever seen or we've ever read before. I
what do you
actually
mean by campy? Sorry, real quick, so I can, like,
no like
understand where you're coming from.
like just how he was. I mean, Lex is a little bit more in control, a little bit more. I mean, like he was almost like a campy villain, almost like I'm psycho. I'm just losing my shit, and it's just about how crazy I can be. Where Lex is
Okay.
super powerful, and rich, but then he's Lex Luthor. I mean, he's not that like kooky. He's not like a kooky villain like he kind of
Oh,
was in
okay, so
this.
kinda like Joker-esque?
Yeah,
Is that
I feel like there's, like, a little bit of a Joker mixed in,
I mean, he's
yeah.
obsessed. Yeah, I
Right,
mean,
right. But,
that is like Joker is obsessed with Batman,
yeah.
Lex is obsessed with Superman. So I don't know. Like
But
I liked it. Yeah.
yeah, well, I feel like he let his obsession, like, control, like, his thought process because Lex is a pretty smart person besides being rich and powerful, and, I don't know, but I like it, though. Here's the thing, like, even though we've never seen this before, it's my second favorite Lex.
Mhm.
Um So I don't know. I really enjoyed it. Like you will
Yeah.
say that scene. Are you gonna talk about the
The
with
crying scene?
that didn't work? Yeah, where the tear rolled
Okay,
down.
cool. So
It's yeah,
we haven't talked about this before, but so dude, I mean, shit, dude. He was phenomenal in his
yeah.
role and played it so well where he kept on saying brain versus brawn because he's all brain. He's not the
Mhm.
one out there fighting. It's Ultraman, right?
Right.
And you're seeing that like happen and he's calling out like moves as if you're like playing a fighting game with the controller. But then like at the end where he fails, and Ultraman
Mhm.
gets sucked into the black hole. Um he cries. Like, he's admitting
Yeah,
defeat,
when
and
Superman's
that's
giving him that speech, yeah, about
yeah, and
yeah,
uh, about him being human. I'm just human. I make errors
right,
and all of this, and I'm just like, like you would never see the Joker cry, right? Like, cause
yeah,
his ego, it's an ego thing, like that. Um, they are just they never admit defeat
right.
because it's just like
And they're never
till the
done
next
because they're
time,
al
Superman.
right, exactly, yeah. Yeah, and that's something too you don't really expect to ever see, like, Luthor cry. And maybe if it was more of a darker tone and more emotional tone, but this wasn't, right? This is, like, pulled straight from the comics, so, like, this is not something you
Yeah,
expected for that to work in any setting.
I
Um,
don't even think in a dark. I can't even see a part where he would
yeah,
cry. Like
this
who
no, this is
he
true,
didn't
yeah,
like because when he had his ex blogging about him
yeah,
and like talking mad shit about him, right? What did he do? He put them in a pocket universe.
right,
Like
yeah.
he
Yeah,
doesn't have
the
no
tear
time for
just didn't make
nobody.
sense.
He's not
Yeah,
emotional at all. He's never emotional, and that's what you see. The only thing that he's
mhm,
emotional about is about being obsessed with Superman. So like him crying and being like, or not crying like sobbing, but like tears rolling
right,
crying
yeah,
about being defeated and knowing that he's going into jail. It's just like
nah, yeah.
no, he would be maybe he would be so angry that he would cry or something like
Mhm.
that, you know? Like that would I could I guess see, but just straight up
A tear
crying,
rolling?
I don't
No, yeah,
yeah, I don't see that. It just didn't sit well with me.
right.
Like I was sitting there and I was like, "Uh,
I will say, though, a lot of this casting, man, James Gunn did spot on for
yeah.
almost every character.
Dude, Mr. Terrific, I had no idea who he was before I got into this, and I
Yeah,
was just like
let's see
that scene
more of
about the
him.
bubble
Yeah,
that you were talking about, I was like, "Oh, man."
yeah.
Like,
He's, like, one of the
he
most badass characters pretty much on the screen.
yeah, so, you know kind of how, like, Blade was, like, snarky,
Mhm.
in, Wolverine and Deadpool?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt like about Mr. Terrific, is he was that, like,
Mhm.
snarky, like, "Well, fuck y'all. Like, I wanna do me."
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think too,
I
like, I
don't
mean, he's, like, super smart, right? And
mhm,
so, like, he's smarter than all of them, and he's very calculated, and,
yeah,
so it just makes sense for his character to be like that, but, man,
mm,
he nailed it.
yeah,
It was so great. I wanna see more of his character, and I will
yeah.
say, like, from watching the trailers and, building up to us watching the movie, I didn't expect to come away from saying that. And, like,
Yeah,
Nathan Fillion
I
did
thought
amazing with Guy Gardner, like
right. So I thought Mr. Terrific, his role was gonna be more kind of like Guy Gardner's, like, because Guy Gardner didn't really have, like, huge role like I was expecting, you know? Um, he was kind of like
Guy Gardner had
a
a pretty big
leader.
role in this.
No, he 100% did have a big role, but it wasn't as big of a role as Mr. Terrific's, and I would
Mm,
have thought, like, it would have been, reversed.
uh-huh.
Um, I would have thought that they put more emphasis on that struggle of being part of the Justice Gang or,
Right.
of, like, really what that is, but,
I tell you what, we got a lot more of the Justice Gang than, I expected.
okay.
For it to be, like, throughout pretty much throughout almost the whole entire movie, I was
Mhm.
shocked that we got that much of it. But it makes
Yeah.
sense. I mean, James Gunn's used to working with, multiple characters. And I feel like
Multiple scenes of things
yeah,
happening.
and I thought with having so many characters in this, like, he did a really good job of
Mhm.
nobody overshadowing the other one or taking the spotlight. I feel like it was
Yeah.
a perfect blend of that. Um, I absolutely David Corenswet was made for this role though, for Superman, Clark Kent. I love both his Clark Kent and his. I would like to see more Clark Kent.
Mhm.
Um, I love Rachel Brosnahan as Lois. Like, almost all the casting I think is perfect.
That scene where, she asked to interview him as
Yes.
as Superman, oh man, it got hot and heavy. Like
Yeah,
it
it
was
put you
like
on the edge
you
of your
felt that
seat. Yeah, yeah,
tension. Like you knew that, like, oh, because she was just like, oh, you really
yeah,
gonna let me do this? And it's like, absolutely, why wouldn't I? Because I interview myself all the time. Like, this is the longest interview I've ever had, and that's including the times I've interviewed myself. And she's like, you measure how much like you like
yeah,
oh man, the quippy, the, like, quick on her feet, I love
yeah.
that because that's
She's
me.
good at it.
Like, I'm fast on my feet, and I'm just like, "Oh, man, like, that's really cool to see that on screen."
Yeah.
Um, that, like, just quick-witted, or, like, "Alright, cool." I'm thinking, but I'm also, I'm thinking about what you're saying, but I'm also
Mhm.
ready for that next thing to say that I'm gonna catch you off guard, and he's like, "Well, Superman," he said, like, something in the 3rd person. What did he I can't remember what he had said. Superman doesn't take
Oh,
selfies?
yeah, Superman doesn't take selfies, and she's like, "Oh, we're speaking
Okay.
as ourself in the 3rd person now."
Yeah, because she's just like, "And we're recording. This is on the record. You can't say off the record after you say the thing. This you have to say off the record and then the thing." Um, and I was just like, "Man, like this." I mean, like if you were like, questioning something and being like as open minded as you possibly
Mhm,
could, and really trying to get the information of who you're interviewing out there,
mhm.
like, that's the kind of part, that you would take, as, like, a news, article news anchor, news person, news journalist.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I say, like, yeah, journalists. Anchor is like a news channel, so, like, they're
Yeah.
the reporters.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, "I don't think they're a journalist, I guess." I can't even think right now, but, yeah, I really liked her role. And I was talking with, I think, one of my coworkers yesterday, and they were talking about how if you watch The Marvelous Miss Maisel, which
Mhm.
she's,
Miss Maisel.
the yeah,
Yeah.
she's the main gal. You get to see a lot of that in that show, and
Mhm.
I was like, oh, okay, that's actually really cool because I hadn't watched it and I didn't have that background foresight about it. Um,
Yeah, I like how strong they made her as a lead and not
mhm,
just like some slide plot tool. Like you
yeah,
see Lois used in a lot of things,
mhm,
throughout the past. But
yeah.
I think she's probably to date. I think she is my favorite Lois.
Yeah.
Like that I have ever seen on screen.
Mhm. Yeah, she did really well. What about what about Lex Luthor's girlfriend? That was taking
Yeah,
selfies.
yeah, yeah. With all the evidence in the back. Oh
Mhm.
man, and Jimmy Olsen, perfect casting. That guy was made for perfect casting as well.
Yeah.
Uh, I will say though, the probably one of the most underwhelming. I wish like we got to see more. Like I feel like this is the character showed us less out of everybody. Was like Hot Girl. Like nothing really stood out huge for me with her. But she also like got less screen time than majority of the
Yeah.
characters. And like when she was on screen, she
Uh,
wasn't doing much. I mean, it was cool to
yeah.
see her like kill the dude from Baravia. She's like, I'm not Superman, you know. So that was pretty
Yeah.
cool. But like that was the only like cool moment that stood out for me with her.
Yeah, she I don't know. So she kind of had that like um teenage mutant ninja negasonic teenage warhead girl. I can't
Yeah,
remember. I
yeah.
feel like I just combined like 5
There
different
is an
names.
age difference for her compared to the rest of the cast.
So she had that kind of like I don't care kind of vibe,
Mhm.
and that was fine. That was fine with me, but it was the like whenever she was flying, I know she's hot girl, but every time she was flying, she I like
Yeah,
just doing
yeah.
that. But then she actually she's like talked while she was flying with the Baravian guy. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, so you don't have to keep going, like you don't have to keep doing that. So
Well, I think that's, one
I
of
don't
those
know
things
if
where,
that's
like,
like
it pierces your ears, so it distracts them from, like, fighting and stuff like that. Because you almost wanna cover your ears. It's like a 'cause it's such a, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's yeah, I don't know, but I don't know why I did that. But,
oh my god.
it's ear piercing, right? So, like, it makes you like, if you're aiming, you're not gonna be able to aim if you have guns and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I guess. Yeah, I guess that's a way to look at it. I don't
Yeah.
know. Um, I like that Guy Gardner, used his middle finger to flip
Yeah.
trucks. That was really funny. Like giant, like Green Lantern middle fingers. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but man, I didn't expect also to enjoy Mr. Terrific as much as I did.
Yeah.
Uh,
That
yeah.
he's definitely, besides David Corenswet, to me, he's like the second highlight of the whole movie to me. Like
Oh, really?
David Corenswet, Mr. Terrific's probably my two favorite. And then
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I think for me it was Lex Luthor,
really.
Mr. Terrific, David Cornsweat. Oh
Lex
no,
would
actually, I
probably be
think
my number
I think
3.
that Lois would be my number 3, and then it would
Okay.
be David Cornsweat as my number 4. Because I wasn't expecting those like just roles,
Yeah.
Like I was like, well, I was expecting, honestly, I was expecting Nicholas Holt to really give his all
Yeah.
for
Well,
Lex
he's a great
Luthor,
actor.
and he he really did. I
Yeah.
watched The Menu last night as well, or
Oh, that's a
a
good
couple nights
movie.
ago. Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you're looking for like a Nicholas Holt, like yeah, I mean, like, it's not really all about him, but he plays a great role in that
He's
too.
one of the main people. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's great. I don't know. I enjoyed this. It was fun. I will
yeah.
say Supergirl thing. So like at toward the end when I first seen it, I was like and then I educated myself on what the story is being based out of, which is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and it's actually very spot on
Okay.
from that comic line. So I'm like, okay, and it's not like she stays like that all the time, but it's
Mhm.
like what she's currently going through
Okay.
and how she's dealing with it. And she was not raised like Clark was, right?
Right.
It's completely
Which we
different
gotta talk
upbringing.
about that.
Yeah, trust me, I was getting to that.
Ah, yeah, so,
That's my
I
biggest
mean,
complaint, actually.
mm, yeah, so with her, with, uh, Millie Alcock, right?
Yeah,
Is
Alcock.
her
Uh huh.
yeah. She she looks the part. She and
Hmm.
they kinda talk about how she wasn't raised like, Superman was, and that they're cousins, and that she kinda, like, goes out and goes and drinks, and we all kind of had that,
Yeah.
teenager, rebellious type thing, but, I'm just cautious about it because I don't know if I can do a whole movie of a girl just
Oh
getting
yeah.
white girl wasted, like,
Well, I don't think we
the entire
will.
movie.
Yeah, I don't think we will, especially like from what I read with Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Mm,
That's not what her story is about. This is
okay.
just like a moment we've seen.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Um, So after I read that, I feel a little bit better about it because, like you were saying, like if we end up seeing Supergirl next year and it's her like that majority of the movie, it's like, oh, I don't know if I can
I
handle a
might
2 hour
actually walk
movie.
out of a movie. Yeah, look, there's only so many things that I can do, and one of the pet
Hmm.
peeves of mine is just, like, having to, like, watch that and being like, "Alright, I have now a headache forming because I'm just listening to
Right.
somebody who's drunk talking for 2 hours." Like, whereas I don't know, because you also have the Lobo, so, like, how can she be
Right.
drunk and I don't know. I don't know.
So,
It's weird.
how did you feel about Jor-El and Superman's mom and dad from Krypton for the first time ever we've seen on screen actually not caring about Earth and wanting him to rule it and not actually be there to protect and save it and all this and to
You know what
spread
it
his
kind of
seed and have a harem of women?
so you know what it kinda reminded me of was you've seen Megamind, right?
One time when it first came out, I don't even remember. I
Oh,
can't not
okay.
even tell you like the
Alright.
plot of it.
So oh, man. Oh, Megamind's like I have to watch it every year. I love that movie.
Really? Okay.
So, yeah. Um, so in Megamind at the very beginning, he's talking about how he got shipped off of his planet before it got destroyed, and his parents had said, like, "And take this." And, right before they had finished saying something that, like, his, like, lid of his thing closed, and he was saying how this was important, and he's like, "Apparently not." Because, like, it's completely, like, cut off and, um, like, "Take this minion, it's, like, good for you," or whatever. So then
Yeah.
he, gets like, leaves and goes to prison because that's where his like little pod fell. But anyway, like this reminded me of that because you never got to really see what the end transmission was, and they kept on hinting at like, okay, there's an end transmission, but we
Right.
can't get it there. It was damaged. Um, and then we hear that they wanted him to take over this planet, which, a lot of people, when you think of aliens, the extraterrestrials that are out there,
Right.
um, that's what they fear is that they're going to come here to take over. So I think
Mhm.
that kind of like played off of that. And I think it was an interesting take. Um, I never really cared because, like, I mean, like, as a spawn of a human, right?
Right, right.
We kind of make our own destiny, I feel.
Sure.
Um, so I feel like that's what that was heading towards is that he was just like, man, that kind of sucks. Like, I spent my entire life thinking that they wanted me
Yeah.
to come to Earth and just like help the people. But
Sure.
turns out they wanted me to rule the
You're
people, and I
right.
don't want to do that.
You know what
Like,
it felt like to me?
what?
Invincible.
Ooh,
Viltrumites. That made
yeah.
me feel like they were not Kryptonian, they were Viltrumites.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I never even thought about
I
that.
will say it
How
doesn't
did you feel about it?
change.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel obviously there wasn't a whole lot of things that James Gunn could put his twist in on because he really wanted to honor these characters and who these characters were in the comics, which I respect that. So I feel like for him to take this little thing over here and give that twist, it doesn't change the character of Superman or what he believes in or nothing like that. And obviously, it affected him, but it doesn't change who he, what he represents and who he is as a
Yeah.
person. So I'm okay with it. Like, I'm actually more pissed off about the parents that raised him.
Yeah.
So
So
I so all right, being from the Midwest, thank you very much. I feel
how do you
strongly about
talk?
this. Yes. So I love Jonathan and Martha Kent, right? I have loved it when it was, Kevin Costner and then from the Snyderverse. My favorite Kents is the one from Smallville, John Snyder and Ed O'Toole. Um, but man, like they're really they made I don't know how to put this politely. Uh
They made them podunk.
more worse than that. No, they
Well,
made them
I'm
like
trying to
they
put it nicely.
I don't think there's a nice way, all right? Like, there's country people out here, right? And here's another
Okay.
thing, mind you. Kansas farmers don't have accents, southern accents. Like, they
They
have
don't?
there's a little bit of an accent, but
Okay.
not like the Alabama accents that they gave these people and made them feel
Oh,
like they were
okay.
kissing cousins of the grandparents are kissing cousins and they're illiterate and like they made them seem so dumbed down. Like, there's nothing
Well,
wrong. I think they like, the whole idea is to make them be super grounded people, right?
yeah.
Super simple, grounded people with, common values and core values, but you
Mm,
didn't have to come across like illiterate. Now, mind you, the whole yelling in the phone thing, that was funny, because we know how it is with the elderly and, technology. I mean, we see elderly walk around with speakerphone in Walmart, so, like, I thought that moment was funny. That didn't bother me, but it was almost like Jonathan Kent, like, Paul Kent, as they call him on this, like, they made him even worse than the mom,
yeah.
uh,
So, I mean,
it bothered me a lot.
so for me, I didn't think that they tried to make them illiterate because they still had their core groundings and then they were watching the news or whatever, they understood at least some part of it, but they were elderly, so they did have that technology trouble that I also
Mhm.
laughed at. But
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy the fact that I felt like I wanted to have subtitles on when he talked. Like that was
Yeah.
the part where I was just like, okay, well, I don't understand why we did that. Like I get that they're in the country and I get that
Yeah.
that accents are a thing. But I don't think that they needed to go that far with it. I don't think that they were not educated.
Mhm.
Um, I just think that they went a little far with their country.
Yeah, well, I really feel like they, like, went as backwoods country as far, like, they only graduated past the 7th grade type thing, Like, and they
Mm,
didn't graduate past the 7th grade, and that's how it felt. I'm like, you can make them country, solid, grounded people with these core family values type thing without them having speaking problems. I mean, because
Mhm.
like, it was hard to understand. They made him sound like they yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
that if I had to pick anything to complain about out of this whole entire movie, that would be my number 1 complaint. Other than that, overall, and I enjoyed the movie. I
Yeah.
really did. I will say this, the second time I enjoyed it more than the first time.
Okay.
Because initially, I will say this, and I've heard this, online. People's like, "Man, Superman's like the weakest Superman we've seen on screen. He's just getting the crap beat out of him." And part of me
I
is like,
liked it made him more grounded. It made him like,
well,
yeah.
but here's the thing, the core person of Superman, it even said on there he's the strongest person, right? I mean, and we immediately just see him pretty much down and out over half the movie. So like you can't take away from the strength of him as a Kryptonian and how powerful he is, because that's one of the great things.
Mhm.
So, but then as I process after the first time and come back and watch the second, I'm like, listen, we're not coming into this at Superman's beginning. Superman, as we and it clicked, and it's so weird, and this is why I'm so glad I watched it the second time. We see at the beginning where it says this is Superman's first battle he's lost. Okay, we're coming into him having his first lost battle. Why? He's fighting himself. So
Mhm.
like, and not only is he fighting himself, there's over 2,500 fights that fight moves that Lex has been watching and calculating and stuff. So literally, he's got the mind behind the strength, and he's
Yeah.
really tier for tier, right? And we
Yeah.
see the Hammer of Bravia, which is the clone of him. We see the Ultraman, that's still him. And I thought it was crazy we could see the clone of him inside a Ultraman suit, an Ultraman suit inside of a Bravia suit, almost like oh,
A
those
China doll.
Russian dolls that,
Yeah.
are inside of each other. But, so I'm like, "Alright, listen, all the times he's really getting the crap beat out of him, it's against himself, so this is okay, actually, this makes sense." Because, like, also with Superman, we typically don't get thrown into, like we did this, an
Mm.
existing universe without seeing some of these steps to lead up to it, and so
Yeah.
then I had to really, like, tell myself, like, "Dude, you're starting this movie with his first battle lost. That's why this is happening, you can't let that."
Mhm.
And I'm like, "Okay, this is okay. This is okay. This makes sense." And that's why, like, I really changed a lot of my thoughts from the second. When I watched it the first, I'm like, "This is good." Like, for a new this is good, but it's alright, right?
Yeah.
But now when I watch the second time, I'm like, "No, no, no. This is good." It's like I said, it's not, "Oh my god, the best superhero movie ever," but it's still a really good I think it's a really strong start for the new DCU.
Yeah. Oh, another part that I thought was really cool was when they were in the Pocket Universe and the guy that can morph, he had
Metamorpho,
made a
yeah.
yeah, he made a son. I thought that was
Yeah.
really neat when he
Yeah,
was
his
just like, all
character
right,
was
he was
cool.
thinking about like how to put together a son. He was like, yeah, I need this.
Yeah.
And
So
I'm like, "Huh?"
I will tell you this, and this is just me, like, when you see things and you really try to, like, sometimes you try to imagine voices to faces before you hear them. I did not expect his voice to sound like it did. I don't know why. I expected it to sound more, I don't know, deeper but also maybe more alien sounding. Instead of
I
just some
didn't
guy with a high pitched voice, the
I didn't think of anything like when he talked. I was just like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. 'Cause, I mean,
Um,
in my brain, I'm thinking of, like, Thor Ragnarok when you
uh-huh.
get, the
Korg?
rock guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't expect that voice at all.
No, yeah, so I was
Piss
just
off,
like, at this
ghost.
point, I don't even know. I don't e like, I got
Yeah,
an English rock, and now we have
yeah,
a squid flying the and
yeah.
Mr. Terrific trying to,
A squiggly man.
a squiggly man. I thought that was amazing. I was just like, "This
Yeah.
is great." Um,
Uh, Man, Mr.
yeah.
Terrific though. I want to see more of this guy. Like, so there's talks that he may get his own spinoff. I hope he does. I
Yeah.
would love to see more about him and his backstory and his character and some
Mhm.
endeavors of his own. Super intriguing. Man,
Does he make all of his technology? Is that kind of
I think so because he's the mind behind it all. So
yeah? Because
yeah.
he has like yeah, so I wanna see kind of like an Ironheart, like him becoming Mr. Terrific. Like
Okay, yeah, yeah, like a prequels to yeah. Uh,
yeah,
oh man, still trying to think what else. I don't know. It's fun though.
yeah,
If you I don't know. I think what is crazy is like the people who are trying to like make like say there's like political this whole thing like a political overshadow. There's nothing political about this.
I mean,
Nothing.
I can see if people are like wanting to stretch it. Like I can see why they say that, but like I don't
They're
agree.
reaching. They are
I
they
watch
want it to be that.
movies, but that's the thing is I don't watch movies for that, you know? Like
Mhm.
unless it's a political movie like Civil War.
Right.
Civil War was very political, right?
Mhm.
But this like I get it. I get that where the world is right now. I understand, but sometimes I like escapism, where I'm
Yeah.
just watching a
Yeah.
movie to watch a movie,
I
and
I
that's what I did. That's
Yeah.
how I feel, and
Same.
I did know a lot of the woke man like
That was not in there.
taglines that were
None
out
of that.
there. But I did see that before actually going to go see the movie, and I didn't clickbait those articles. Like I
Right.
didn't read the articles because I'm like, whatever, man. Like you have your opinion, and like how we say it all the time, go watch the movie, go make your own
Yeah.
opinion.
I
And if that's how you feel, then please let us know. We'd love to know your thoughts and your opinions because that it's a very welcoming space here.
I do love how James Gunn put in the monkeys that were doing all the internet trolling. Hashtag
Yeah.
super shit.
Super shit. Yeah, that
But
was pretty great.
I love that kind of being like a mass cover for like all the Snyder Bro fans who are online talking shit. I feel like that was
Yeah.
definitely a metaphor to that. I do
Mm.
love Sean Gunn's little clip as Maxwell Lord, where he's like, one thing that finally the liberals and the what do you say, liberals
Oh,
and
I don't
conserv
remember.
yeah, so
Yeah,
it
it
showed
was
him because
very
he's Maxwell Lord.
yeah.
He's like, one thing the liberals and conservatives can all agree is Lex Luthor sucks.
Oh, yeah, he is yeah,
Yeah,
'cause,
yeah,
like, at first, I it and to see that flip-flop happen so fast, like, I was just like,
yeah.
it's
Well, you
yeah.
notice too, like Maxwell Lord, as we know, we see him in the Peacemaker trailer, and also like he's. I mean, so when we actually see the Hammer of Moravia, go through that building, that's actually Maxwell Lord's tower. That's his tower. And then if you
Okay.
see like a lot of the technology throughout this, like the phones and different stuff, says Maxwell
Yeah,
technology or whatever.
yeah.
So you really see like he's probably like one of the biggest billionaires with such a big tech company.
Mhm.
I'm curious to see because like we've seen him in Wonder Woman 1984, played by Pedro Pascal as a big villain, but it seems like he may eventually end up obviously as a villain, but he may be playing that both sides of the fence type thing, because he's got so
Yeah.
much control. Well, you actually
Mhm.
see, do you see the TV at the Kents? Ethan said Luther Corp on the TV.
No. No,
Yeah, so
I
like
didn't see
even
that.
Luther's like got his hand in tech and TVs and
Oh,
stuff like
yeah,
that as
yeah.
well.
I'm not even surprised that Luther does. I
I will
like
say
the cameo of Peacemaker in there too. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I did not expect that. That was pretty
No,
great.
and the amount of cameos that we got, I was just like,
Yeah. And what was really cool
okay,
is too, like Michael Rosenbaum played a voice in one of those soldiers that was wearing the armor. So we
mhm,
got Michael Rosenbaum who played Lex Luthor played a voice in them. And then, Michael Rooker played one of the other Superman bot voices along with a few of
yeah.
the other Guardians casts.
So, real quick before we go into how like the ratings and stuff, how
Uh-huh.
like for me when I saw Ultraman, right, and I
Mhm.
actually got to see the clone of Superman, like I felt like he had a Henry Cavill vibe to him. Like he
Yeah, so
was
I know
I okay, so I was just like, all right, I feel like
it
I'm going fucking crazy
Well,
here,
no, no, no.
but
What I would have loved to seen would have been like that mask come off, and it was Henry Cavill, and James
and
Gunn
it
kept that hidden, and that too was
yeah,
Ultraman.
yeah,
But like, so what's crazy is like, soon as he went through that black hole, literally, I leaned over and I was like, to Wyatt, I was like, this is going to be Bizarro. I'm pretty sure. Like he's gonna come back
yeah.
as Bizarro, and then
That's what
like
AD
after
told me. Yeah,
and then literally, I see all the YouTube channels. New rock stars and everybody's saying that. I'm like, okay, cool, cool, cool. I'm glad I wasn't crazy. But that would be cool to see him like eventually, like 6, 7 films from now, or maybe the second one he come back, and he's all more of got the grayish white skin. He's got his
mm,
haircut. He's got his own version of the suit, and he's talking backwards and stuff. That would be really neat.
yeah.
But
I just remember seeing his helmet come off. He had like longer hair, um, and I was so, like, I literally did do a double take. I was like, okay, no, that's not. It's not him.
yeah, well, I will
But it
say
looks.
I will say that about to die. I forgot to plug it in. So, anyways, I want to say like his suit though was more puffed up to make his body look bigger because the body and stuff was a lot bigger than what we seen with David Corenswet. So that's why I
Mm,
thought it might be someone else, and because I'm like, who's the surprise? Who's the surprise? But I don't know. It still worked though. I enjoyed it.
yeah, yeah.
So what would you scale this on a 1 to 10? What would you scale this?
Oh, we're doing a 1 to 10. Okay, so 5 is the middle. I would say a 6.5. Like, I was
Right.
happy.
Okay.
I wasn't entirely thrilled. I'm not gonna go back to theaters to go watch it.
Right.
I would watch it again though, but
Mm-hmm.
not like immediately when it comes to
Right.
streaming. That's like I'm like if I have time and maybe before the second one comes out.
Sure.
Maybe before Supergirl comes out, I'll watch it. Like that's kind of how I feel. It's not like
Right.
I need to rewatch this. Like how I felt about
Yeah.
Endgame. Like how I'm feeling about a lot of
Yeah.
Marvel movies is I'm like,
Right.
oh, like
Well.
the newest Spider-Man with all the 3 Spider-Men that came
Mm-hmm.
back, right? I recently just watched that again because
Yeah.
and that's like my 4th time watching that movie because that's how
Right.
I like these movies. So I'm gonna rewatch these movies. It Superman, yes, was a good movie. Yes, it was beautifully done with the colors. I really like that eye monster. Really, really like that eye monster. But other than that, I was just like, okay, like I feel like it's a
That what
6 out of
monster?
10. The eye monster, like that they were fighting when Lois
Oh, and
and
Superman were talking, and they were
yeah,
yeah, and they were beating him
yeah,
with the bat
so
and stuff.
right. So you saw that eye
Forgot about
monster,
that.
right?
Yeah,
And then
that was cool.
and I thought it was really cool, a really great use of colors because when they were talking to Lois and you
Uh-huh.
saw Lois in the background, like she had a mirror and you saw the eye monster in the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
glass. And I was
It
like,
was a beautiful scene.
uh,
The colors was very
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. So I thought that was really well done, and like I recommend anybody that really enjoyed Superman. It is the highest grossing Superman ever now,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
that opening weekend, it's got like
yep.
122 million. Um, I suggest that you go and watch it and really enjoy it for what it is. If you haven't seen it, but
Definitely when you go
it
see it in
might.
theaters, you don't wanna wait for streaming
Well,
because of the action scenes and stuff.
I mean, I guess it depends on your setup because we have a
Yeah,
surround sound, so my glasses are gonna be clinking. Like
yeah.
I already know, like when I watch it again, it's gonna be great. Just like Sinners, like was great when we finally got to watch it here.
Mhm,
Like, I wasn't upset that I didn't get to see it in theaters,
mhm. Well, I'm just
because
saying, I think
life happens. But
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm saying, like, I feel like Superman is worth seeing at least once in theaters before it comes streaming. Like, it's not one to skip theater, I think.
If you have time, yeah, and
Yeah,
before and now it's the weekend, right? Before
right,
Fantastic Four comes out next week and San
right.
Diego Comic-Con and everything. So if you have the time,
Yeah,
sure, do it. But if you don't, I definitely recommend you at least watch it once when it does come to digital, when it does come to streaming, something
yeah.
like that.
So I would give this a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Yep, 7 out of 10. Definitely not over 7, but and I'm like firm on that number. Like I don't believe in just how I felt. I don't believe it's nothing lower than a 7, but it's nothing higher than a 7. Like it's a
Mm,
firm 7.
yeah.
And kind of I think we're on the same wavelength when it comes to our thoughts and our feelings about this because here's what I felt like it was missing and why it's a flat 7 is with Marvel, we get this great comedy, right? We get this great storytelling and these great characters. But one thing that this movie lacked for me, not once did it make me feel any emotion. Like I so what there's the closest thing it felt me to feel an
Yeah.
emotion. There's and like that's one thing Marvel does well. It has that blend of action,
Mhm.
seriousness, comedy, but the heartfelt tugs too. And so like the closest part it got to me was at the very end when they're like, "You want us to play videos of your parents?" And you think it's gonna be the Kryptonians, and then it's Mom and Pa Kent, and it's his
Eh,
childhood,
yeah.
and I was like, "Oh," like that's cool. Like
Yeah.
it goes to show like he's really embracing who he is. Screw what my biologicals did, and you just got to see all these moments. You got to see those moments because this isn't a coming of age Superman. We see this 3 years after he announced it. So it was just
Mm.
really cool to get all these home video, like, blends. So like that, but that didn't make me, it still didn't choke me up or nothing, right? I'm
Yeah,
saying
no, I
that's the
was just like,
closest as they got, but it didn't.
okay.
And so,
Yeah.
like, something to me that Marvel just really does well with majority of the time. I mean, look at Ironheart. Ironheart, they sat on that for 3 years, and I did not expect a lot of it. And
Yeah,
Ironheart got
I
me
cried
choked up.
during Ironheart,
Yeah.
and I Love You 3000 is something that people
Oh,
still say.
oh,
See?
yeah.
See that reaction?
I
What are
got
you gonna
chills,
say?
like, literally got chills just saying that, hearing that.
Yeah. I mean, there's literally like, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. Like, there's
Oh,
just
there's
like,
so
there's
much. No,
so many.
and any
Um,
Black Panther
Wakanda
line.
forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, dude. We're right there, as
Yeah.
always. But
But
yeah.
so, like, Marvel does really well, and this is the first one, right? This is the first
Yeah.
one. They have time, but the one thing I will say Marvel's done really well from the get-go is it knows how to do mostly, not every Marvel project's perfect, but
Yeah.
mostly they know how to do that perfect blend of all of the things we just mentioned, and,
Yeah.
so it did not give me that, and
It
that's
didn't
why
make me feel angry. It didn't make me feel aw. It didn't make
no,
me like
it was just fun.
it was just yeah, it was just a movie that I watched that I'm like,
Yeah.
cool. Watch that.
I do like, though, how Lex Luthor is just a fucking bad guy,
Oh
and
yeah, no, that I
you
told
don't
as I said it.
you
Yeah.
don't have to feel for him.
Yeah.
There's no justifying his actions. He's just a bad guy, and Superman's just a good guy. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining because I do like it when they do that from time to time. But it was nice just to see this strong out the bat, them just good versus bad. And so, like,
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I guess that's our review for Superman. So
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for tuning in and watching. And go ahead and comment below, subscribe, do all the things. We love y'all.
yep, and we catch everybody live on Sunday.
Fun day. Sunday, fun day.